The following podcast may be explicit. One Joe Young presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. We're off again chasing down leads and gathering clues. In this episode, the plan has been arranged for our party to meet up with the elements of the Atlanta region of the outfit. As Jamie gets prepared, the rest of the party works behind the scenes. Enjoy the podcast. Hi, and welcome to The Shed for Adventures from the Shed. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com, on iTunes, Facebook, Google+, Bing, Stitcher Radio, all over the place, including Yoo-Hoo, right? We are back here in the Shed continuing our Dresden Files Accelerated game. We're going to go around the table and say hi, and we'll start with...
Hi, everyone. This is Mickie. I play Mora the same, on the Dresden Files Accelerated. Mora, I never really said, is a monster hunter, for those who care.
There you go. What's her, high aspect? Is that what it's called here? I can't remember.
High concept.
Yes.
Determined hunter. Hunting is the family business.
There you go.
And she can also MacGyver the shit out of anybody.
Yes.
JJ here. I'm playing Cletus Fitzhammer. High concept of third eye addict, police are wizards, and I am sucking on Ricola cough drops like they're going out of style.
No sponsorship, just they're good.
But they're not. They're still way in style.
And after that cough, this is Kurt. I'm playing Jamie Anderson. His high concept is a wealthy woodsman. He's from an old Greenville, an upstate family that everyone would know by name.
Andersons.
This is Chris. I'm playing Father Victor Bartok, the tribulational saint.
Nice. I forgot
he's
that.
a Knight of the Cross and White Court Virgin.
And a priest. And I am Joe. I am the game master for this Dresden Files Accelerated role-playing game campaign that we are on. As we get back into this, we're going to have a little recap of our last episode to get us started, as we are usually doing. And we have named Mickie to do this one, and as usually happens, Mickie has objected ostensibly, but will still do some piece of this recap. Right, Mickie?
Yeah, sure. No problem.
What you got?
So when we last left the party...
Meanwhile, back at the Halls of Justice.
They were doing kind of a round circle, trying to plan the meeting with Frank, between Kurt's character and Frank. Before that, though...
Johnny Slick. Who let her do the recap?
No. Yeah, that's right, Johnny Slick, because Frank's the guy in Greenville.
Yeah.
See, this is why I don't do the recaps.
The Atlanta guy, yeah.
However, during the last episode, we learned a bit more about Bruce. We connected some dots there. There was a reverse Google search. We have an image that was sent to the FBI, and we have some feelers out both with the White Council and the Vatican to get more information on him. We also exploited the Woodman's connections with Aloft and set up a meeting with Johnny Slick.
Yep. Johnny Slick.
At the Westin. We conspired to have Kurt's character meet with him individually. Meanwhile, a couple of us may do some reconnaissance at his hotel room to get more information about him and maybe plant a bug or two. Didn't talk about that, but it could happen.
I like that idea.
We also determined that in Atlanta, the outfit in Atlanta may have some connections. It's still circumstantial at this time, but may have connections to the supernatural. And there is definitely something is coming for Greenville.
Everything is.
Everything is coming for Greenville. So we explored that path a bit on what exactly is going on with the Gateway, and we may delve further into that in this episode. How did I do, guys?
That's not bad at all.
I got a thumbs up from Kurt. The rest of the group is less enthusiastic.
Yeah, I'm staring at myself, and I'm sorry. I was...
You're fired.
Oh, yeah.
This is just what happens. All right. So we are at that point where the last thing we talked about was the kids with magic rashes, or was it the rash of magic kids? Whatever it was, there were kids and rashes, and that it was happening way more often in the upstate area. One of the reasons why Cletus has spent some time in this area as a school resource officer, dealing with kids, trying to keep an eye on what's going on. And from what Mora had found, it seemed like every monster hunter person in the network knows about somebody who is interested in Greenville at this time, specifically Greenville area, Greer. And something has definitely happened in the area that has attracted the attention of anything interested in the supernatural. And we're getting ready for this meeting with Jamie and Johnny Slick.
It's going to be at 7:18.
7:18 P of the M.
Exactly.
Yes.
So one of the first things Jamie does is make sure he synced his watch up with the Greenwich Standard Mean Standard Time.
You got the atomic watch going.
Exactly.
Yes.
Which I would have a pretty expensive watch, so I'd be
Yeah. Just make sure you grab one that has been wound before you leave the house in the morning.
Well, I got
right?
a question. I got a question though. Is it like from the Doctor Strange thing where like they're all like rotating in a drawer?
I mean, I haven't seen that, but it sounds good.
There
I'm a little
are-
behind on my Marvel.
Well, you've probably
films.
seen automatic watch winders, and it's kind of like there's 20 of them in a drawer, and they're all being turned.
Well, that's when the watches are kinetic.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Kinetically
Yeah.
powered.
But anyway, yeah.
Yeah,
So, I'm
so,
sure you've got one of them.
right.
You've got at least one that has the right time.
Exactly.
Yeah, we can
Hey, even a
establish that.
broken watch is right twice a day.
As long as it's broken at 7:18.
So,
Oh,
so
that's-
Jamie has already made arrangements for you guys to have a key, so you can search the room easily.
Okay.
I don't think that'll be a big deal.
So I want to do that first. Let's presume that Johnny's going to meet you there, which means that he's going to have to be out of the hotel already. Once Father Bartok and Maura see that the room has been vacated, tell me what you do.
So wheel the little room service cart up to the door, knock on it. Housekeeping. Nobody answers.
Yeah, make sure nobody's in there.
Yeah.
Use our key
You are
to
correct.
enter.
Nobody answers.
Enter, split up. I'll take the bedroom, searching through drawers. You take maybe, he's getting in a suite, so
Yeah.
there's
Second
multiple
Did we
rooms.
want to plan anything? Or
We
not?
do want to plant, I'd like to plant some bugs.
Okay.
So do you guys want to search the room first?
Absolutely.
So let's do this as a teamwork thing. So one of you two is going to roll and tell me the approach you use, and then you will get a +1 because there's an ally helping. So you guys figure out what approach you want and who wants to roll.
Victor, you're probably sneakier than I am.
Yeah, it'll still be.
Oh my!
Well,
What are we doing? Flare?
well, for me, it'd be focused because I'm trying to concentrate on looking for stuff. But
Yeah, I've got a number already that I've shared, and let's
See
see
if
what
you
we
got
end
anything
up.
to
Mine
make
would
it a
probably
little
be
better.
focused as well. Because I can't use force.
Yeah, that's normally my thing.
That's normally my first reaction. You hit it and then hit it harder.
Well, it depends on if the spot that you end up with is a locked drawer. Then that might work.
Then force would
Right.
work and kick the shit out of it. Okay. So focus. She's looking for
I like how the solution to a locked drawer is kick the shit out of it.
how else do you open
We
it?
can lockpick it.
You wouldn't just pull it till it opened. You would just keep kicking it until it opened.
Until you kick the face
That's pretty
off.
damn
Oh,
cool.
I mean,
actually.
the idea is to make it look like nobody was in here though for planting bugs. So.
Yeah.
Well, you can put it back on after.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not
Shit will buff out.
kicking drawers yet. Like I haven't found anything.
Okay. So tell me what you're using and how it works out, or how your roll works out once you have it.
Am I rolling? You rolling? Oh, I'm rolling. Okay. I wasn't sure if I was rolling.
You got it. Chris has his dice sitting on the pluses already.
I want them to know what they're supposed to do.
Exactly. You train them.
That's right.
Yeah.
I put them on the negatives. That way they don't want to be there anymore.
That's a good. Yeah.
I've heard
We'll
so
see-
many things. Like
see
some
who's
people say that they set it like the 20-sided die. They set the 1 at the top because that way the 20 is at the bottom. And when gravity has held it that way for a while, it makes that side of the die heavier or something. So that when they roll it, I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Hey, it's the same thing as wearing your game day T-shirt.
Superstition. And I am today. I'm actually wearing my shirt of gaming. So here we are.
All right.
And unlike our favorite players, our dice will never kneel.
Oh.
And away we go. 2 pluses, so it's a 4.
A 4? Well,
Yes.
that's a tie.
It would be a
Oh wait,
five.
that's just 5. So I
Then
forgot.
you,
I forgot.
then you win.
I like winning.
So we're going to take this as, and this is one thing we keep forgetting to miss. Normally I'm looking at the action after the fact, but from our quick reference sheet, again from page 254, and actions are page 104 of the book, you want to be picking your action and your approach before you make the roll. So in this case, we're either creating an advantage, attacking, defending, or overcoming. So to me, this
Creating
is
an
either
advantage.
creating an advantage or overcoming. So if you look at it as there's no information, you're trying to overcome that that there is no information, but we'll treat it as create an advantage, and you succeeded. So you're creating or discovering an aspect, and you get a free invoke on it, which means you can use it right away if you like. So what you find here is, let's see, trying to make sure oh gosh, I forgot to type his name, didn't I? Yeah, I forgot to type the name he was checked in on. Phil Summers?
Oh,
Philip
Philip
Summers.
Summers, okay.
Philip Summers.
You see
Related to Buffy.
Yeah.
That there is a wallet there with full information for Philip Summers. So it is all good credentials. There's even a social security card in there for Philip Summers.
So they have a
And
good
it's
ID
all-
guy, which
it's all real looking stuff. Exactly.
makes sense for a criminal syndicate.
Right.
Does
So
he have a business card? Who is Philip Summers? Like,
that's
what's
a
he-
good point. Philip Summers, real estate agent
Okay.
for Summers Realty. Just make it easy. Yeah. I still had to type Philip Summers. Hold on.
While the GM is
Yep.
typing, Maura got this crazy flash and was like, you know what? We've got a wizard on board. We need some biological material. So
Yeah,
she's going to
get
go
the
to the
shower.
bathroom and get
Yeah. So
Couple
is
hairs.
there any food up here? Because Victor's gonna.
Victor's hungry.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, yeah. he's
You're going to raid the
He's
mini
always
bar?
hungry.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I need to get some meat.
So as far as that goes, when you look around for specific things like hairs or DNA, it appears he knows the gig.
He knows.
Yeah, there's nothing laying around.
Another piece of the puzzle. This guy
Get
definitely
the black
knows.
light on the bed.
And so here's what I want to give you as an aspect. For him, he's crafty. Okay, so Johnny Slick, Philip Summers, is crafty. He knows how to handle himself. It's because you succeeded that you found this ID. Otherwise, you wouldn't know. And that's something that you can now, you can immediately invoke that aspect of, so this guy is crafty, therefore blank, or you hold on to it. But because of your success, you get a free invoke on it now if you like.
So we could try to search, known hiding spots of crafty people, kind of thing.
Known hiding spots of crafty.
Yeah, in between this,
people.
Between the mattress.
behind
Okay.
any painting.
Behind the paintings.
There's a safe in here, maybe one of the closets or something.
Underneath the drawers.
Yeah, taped anything.
I like the safe idea.
Things taped down.
All right, a free invoke means, free invoke, I think you get +2 on something, right? Somebody help me out here. We haven't done this in a little while. When you invoke an aspect,
That
I want to
does
say you
sound-
can use a +2.
Oh, I have this.
That does sound correct.
Yeah, so spend a fate point to get a +2 or a reroll.
Or a reroll, yeah.
So in this case,
We're getting a freebie.
there's no fate point. It's a freebie. So I'm going to give you a +2 on another search because of the way you've described it. You're going to look for something else. So I'll give you a +2 on another search that I am also going to roll here for. And you guys decide how you're going to handle the second search because it sounds like it could even be focused this time. I don't
Well,
know
that's
what
what
you
you're-
used last time.
Yeah, it was focused last time
All
because
right.
You want to roll or you want me to go?
I'll roll.
Somebody.
Now, is it
somebody
just
gets to
the
roll.
straight +2 or do we get the teamwork effort?
You're still doing the same thing. You're
So-
participating together.
right, a +3 then.
Yeah.
So we've invoked the aspect of crafty.
Yeah. So you know this.
And we're
guy's-
trying to use
is
that against him.
And we're
clever.
using
Yeah.
that against him to
Yeah.
find the secret hiding places.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm
vents,
using
whatever.
focus
Okay.
is my approach.
Got it.
Am I doing it right?
Yes.
Oh, I did not because I got -3.
Oh my gosh.
So it's whatever your focus is what we get.
2, so I got -1.
Well, no, we're at a +3, so
So we're at
2.
You're at 2.
Yeah.
Two.
I had a
+3.
2.
All
Kurt,
right.
I showed Kurt earlier. I had a
All
2.
right.
They're at
works.
+3.
Yeah, but minus the 3.
I got
right?
-3. I rolled
Yeah.
3 minuses.
So she
Okay.
took out our bonus.
So it's 5 minus
3.
Yeah.
So you got 2.
So I were
Yeah.
2.
Okay.
Which, in this case,
Work
as a
it out.
tie for creating an advantage, is you get a boost if creating a new aspect, which you're not, or treat as a success if looking for an existing one. You find a secret compartment in the wallet that has a lock of hair in it.
Bonus.
Yes. You don't know whose it is.
Right.
It's
yeah.
yellow.
And we,
Oh, man.
and we can't take all of it because he'll know. Let's take part of it.
Yeah, let's take some of it.
This could be a red herring.
So
Or a
secret-
yellow herring, for that
Secret
matter.
compartment in the wallet.
In the wallet, yes. Like super cleverly hidden because he's crafty and all.
It's one of those magic wallets, remember?
Yes.
You
Yes,
flip it.
exactly. And yes, craftiness.
We will take some of that and put it back exactly how it was.
Yes.
Okay.
And leave maybe a bug by the phone.
No, that's too obvious.
Too obvious? Where do you want to leave the bugs?
Well,
He's not
that's
going to
where-
use a phone. He's going to use a cell phone.
That's where you leave the fake one.
leave a fake
Nah,
bug.
he's probably
no,
already
but then
found
he'll know.
He's probably already, yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want to try and bug the room in some way, tell me how you're going to do it.
You
This
wanna
is going to
do
be
it.
another roll to find out if he finds it later.
And
Yeah,
the
you have
drapes.
to- a couple of, like, how's this room set up? So it's got a bedroom area, maybe an office area or something. Yeah, do you want to leave a couple? Then if there's like a balcony he goes out to, I'd leave one out there.
Yep. Does the aloft have balconies? Do we know?
How
I don't
fancy.
know.
But try and stay realistic. If Kurt knows, then yes, it does.
Oh, would the individual rooms have balconies? I don't know the answer to that, to be honest.
It at least has an outside window with a nice view.
Bug
So
the
he would go
drapes.
up to the window, and there might be a reading chair at the window or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
It
Leave the
works.
bug. And the drapes.
Yeah, at the top or something. And the,
Mini bar. Maybe. Safe.
definitely bedroom area and then like by the office.
Oh,
there.
as a freebie, all the whiskey is missing from the minibar.
And it goes in there too often.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's all the nip bottles.
Yeah.
The one row is empty.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah.
This is a whiskey guy, and we can write this down
that's
for
good to
future
know,
use.
actually, yeah.
I mean, you guys had 2 successes. I'll throw a freebie in there.
Likes his
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe send a
Slick.
text to Kurt so he can have the whiskey ready.
Whiskey. Whiskey makes him frisky.
It's a decent
That's a
idea.
text you get. Whiskey makes him frisky.
Yeah.
Yeehaw!
Couple like wink wink emoticon emojis.
Wick wink emoji. Whiskey makes him frisky.
Nudge, nudge. Know what I mean?
Yeah, that's animal.
All right.
That's probably the only good thing we're gonna get out of this room. 'Cause we don't want to be in here too long.
Just as a side note, Kurt, would you happen to know what kind of whiskey bottles would be in a hotel room there?
In a minibar at a loft?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
I mean, I would think that they would have, one bourbon, one Irish whiskey, one Scotch.
Let's go with
Fairly
the Irish
high-end,
whiskey
so-
then.
So,
Yeah,
they'd have Jamesons.
there you go. That's what was missing. That aisle of Jamesons is missing.
Irish Johnny Slick's drinking Irish whiskey, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Now, before we leave, we would obviously look to make sure that we didn't turn over any booby traps that he may have left, like coins on the doorknob, to make sure that nobody
That
came
really
in.
would have been nice to know before you done it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
didn't think.
Well, yeah, it
about
might be something we could reset up. If like, if,
Right.
a piece of tape or a piece of hair was pasted against the door and broken.
You could
things
put
like
the
that.
string with the cans on it
Yeah.
back on the wall. Sure.
We'll try to cover
try
our
that.
tracks.
Sure, yeah.
So at this point, there was nothing. There was no obvious trap or no obvious, I need to know if someone broke into my room thing.
Right. Well, he's expecting. I'm sure he's expecting cleaning people.
Exactly. He would be expecting housekeeping. Oh, for that matter, his bed was slept in. It hadn't been redone. There wasn't a turnover.
And there
or
wasn't a
anything
do
like
not
that.
disturb sign on the door, right?
There was not. No.
Okay.
Trying to think if there's a reason he would have done that. No, I think is my answer from the NPC perspective.
Safe.
So yeah, there's really nothing to cover except what you've touched. You would put back in
Yes.
place.
Yeah.
And wipe any prints.
Okay. All right. So that's happening, and we're going to say, like I was saying earlier, as soon as they know the room is vacant, they're going in there. So they would get this information before 7:18. What information are you sharing with Cletus and Jamie before 7:18 hits?
Well, he got a text
Okay.
about whiskey.
Is it really whiskey makes him
Whiskey
frisky?
makes him frisky.
Yeah.
Great. Do you want any clarification of that? Just as a curious character perspective
Right.
thing.
What kind?
All the Jameson's been drunk.
In both respects? Question mark.
Well said.
So, do I know? Can you tell me which whiskey he likes?
Yeah. he
Yeah,
just
we'll
said
say all the Jameson's.
Oh,
all the
drunk.
Jameson's gone.
Gotcha. All right, so the Westin has a very. I'm meeting at the Westin has a very small bar. It has a nice big lobby, but the bar has like 4 seats at it.
Okay.
So I would actually get there at like 7:10,
Okay.
chat up the bartender, and have him at like 7:16 put down 2 Jamesons with a single cube of ice in each of them, and a little small glass of water on the side of each.
Aw. Nice.
Classy.
Wealthy behavior.
Actually, I wouldn't do that. I would have him I'd pick a special one like the sherry cask aged Jamesons or something
Okay.
much more expensive and say, hey, I think you'll like this.
Okay.
Got it.
Anything with Cletus?
Cletus is
As
going
part
to
of setting
be
up. Now,
lounging as nonchalantly as possible in the lobby.
Would you guys have already shared with Cletus that you found hair?
I definitely want to let him know. Yeah, we have that.
Okay.
Well,
How, though?
I don't have a text. I can't text.
Exactly.
Yes,
and
but that's where I was saying everything happened before the designated time. So I'm giving you guys a chance to make whatever communication or meeting moments before.
the hair is
7:18.
not going to help.
Okay.
Not in this instance.
Okay. Okay. Then we'll go right to it. At 7:18, at 7:17 and 45 seconds, after the bartender has everything set up the way you've asked, he walks into the back, and a guy comes back out dressed the same way, but it's not the same guy. And he says, "At least you're prompt. What do you want?"
So he comes dressed out as the bartender?
Yeah.
And he's behind the bar?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in front of the bar, he's behind the bar.
Not weird at all.
That's so weird.
Nothing is ever as it seems.
Yeah. But it wasn't the bartender, it's a different person.
No, it's a different person.
Okay.
He's dressed as a bartender. Now, this guy, I'll just let you know, this guy is, he's probably about 40 years old, slicked back black hair with a streak of gray on one side. Don't know which side, doesn't matter. But he has a streak of gray silver on one side. And he looks completely average other than he almost has a skunk head. All right, a little skunk mark on the side. But he's a completely average guy. You wouldn't have known he wasn't a bartender if he didn't address you in the way that he just did.
Gotcha.
It's like a shift change at 7:18, which is normal shift time, right? Whatever.
Sure. So I would think
But he does pick up the glass that you had poured for him, and he starts to sip at it.
Right. And so I would say, I'd say first, I hope you like this. It's on me. I know you're busy, and I don't want to waste your time. I wouldn't presume to expect that you know who I am, but please rest assured that my family has the best interests of Greenville and the upstate at heart. Mm-hmm. And I think that there are things happening here where we both may benefit from working with each other.
So it looks like his whole point of being where he is to not to draw attention. So he's talking to you like a bartender to a client.
Right.
He grabs a rag, wipes a little bit of the bar,
Right.
Another glass, washes it out, whatever. So just trying to keep a casual conversation, not draw attention. And he tells you, well, it's Anderson, so we know that. But what problem do you have that I could have?
Well,
Aren't you a rich kid? And you're like the same age as him, I think. So he's just being a prick.
Right. There's a big baseball fan in town here. He's a real heavy hitter.
Yeah.
And things are getting a bit out of control. Mm-hmm. And I understand that you may be interested in him as well. And there may be ways that we can help each other.
Yeah, he's starting to put too many people on his bench, as it were. And I think we're going to need to have a franchise merge or something. But what does this have to do with you?
Well, it's not just people he's putting on his bench. There's a lot of strange, mysterious things happening here in town, and you've got a lot of muscle. We've got a lot of concerns. I'd like to know.
That's a
know
pretty
what you
cool
plan to do
statement
about
right
it.
there. Yeah. How are you involved in this? He's kind of mystified as to why Jamie Anderson is asking him these questions. I'm trying to make it clear from his reaction.
We've been here since the beginning.
It's like you're here with a Wonder Woman shirt on or something. What does that mean?
We've been here since the beginning. This is our home, and things are changing here very, very quickly in a way that I might not like.
But it's my understanding that this slugger has nothing to do with you types. You rich types.
He doesn't, but I understand that the folks you work for may have an increased interest in our town as well, and I want to make sure that we're all on the same page.
Look, buddy, I know what's in it for me. What's in it for you? Why would you be proposing this to me?
Okay, so at this point, I don't know if there's kind of an insider, but I intimated to the fact that there was something supernatural or something not human happening here. I didn't get a
He's
reaction
specifically
from him.
ignoring that.
Okay.
Sorry. To make that clear, he's specifically ignoring anything outside of you know of a problem, and he's just trying to figure out why is it a problem for you, and why are you involved. He's trying to get you to say more stuff.
Right.
Right. Because you know enough about him, he doesn't know enough about you yet.
Right.
So it's up to you and how much more you want to share.
Right. So, Mr. Summers, I'll be frank. There are a number of people and a number of parties who are interested in what's happening here in the upstate right now. And those people are converging and forces may be in conflict. And I see lots of bad things on the horizon. The more of us that can play on the same page together, the better.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a card. You have somebody who has more of a vested interest in this. Give me a call and we'll look over some properties together. And he puts down a card that says Philip Summers, real estate agent, owner, Summers Realty. And it has a phone number on it.
So he's looking for investors, is that, or
Well,
developers?
he wants somebody who has more skin in the game than you.
Okay.
Because you haven't been affected by the underworld, really.
Right.
So why do you want to change a guard? Seems suspicious to him.
Right. I think at this point I would actually just thank him for his time, buy him another drink, throw down $60 on the bar and take the card.
He takes the $60 and walks back, and the other bartender comes back out.
So I've got his card,
slick,
I've got his contact info.
Yeah.
I need to talk to my group.
Okay. So let's crossfade to that. The four of you get together after this. You all have some fresh information. What conclusions do you want to draw from this new information? Or jump to, for that matter. You don't need to draw them. You could jump straight to them.
You need to find out whose hair this
I didn't
is.
mention Bruce specifically, and it's because I wasn't sure that I wanted to do that.
No, but I liked the slugger stuff, the baseball reference, so he could talk in the same lingo without actually having to say anything bad. That's one of the only reasons he kind of opened up to you, that you used the right wording. If you said anything about, Moreland or Louis or Frank or, Underworld or anything, he wouldn't have.
Right. I mean, the trick here is
you're probably a narc.
the trick here is this is the enemy of the enemy is our or the friend of my enemy is my friend or whatever.
Enemy of my enemy is my friend.
But on the other hand, I really don't want Atlanta Underworld coming into the upstate in a permanent way. So I'm not actually sure what the play is, but we've at least got a contact now.
A friend of my enemy is my second cousin's former roommate.
Gay lover.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No,
that goes
everyone
without
should be a
saying.
happy lover.
Need to find out whose hair this is.
Some DNA testing.
Yeah,
Cue the
something.
DNA test.
Something.
Is that what you want to do with it?
Either that, or you could track it. Then you could run out like, hey, I have this hair. Can I track
as long
it?
as whoever's hair it is hasn't cut their hair, I can find where the other end attaches.
Oh, it has roots.
Oh, it has roots.
Of course
Yes.
it does.
This hair has been pulled from a scalp.
Then it's no good.
Why not? It's got
No,
DNA.
it should be good. That's
It
the,
should
no,
be
that's
better.
the
Can't
bottom
find the
of it.
scalp.
In our world, it is good.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
There has to be some kind of
Yeah.
connection. If it's been pulled out by the roots, it's been removed. It's no longer connected to the...
It is now. Yeah.
Let's make it work,
We're good-
James.
we're
Make
good.
it work.
You have the best hair sample possible.
Okay.
Tim Gunn.
However we want to
Make
word
it work.
that. It is the best hair sample possible.
So yeah, I mean...
It would
thi-
be-
thi-
and it has to be because it was so
this
cleverly
seems
hidden.
like it's almost,
Yes.
too easy. But I will perform the ritual and see if I can't find the...
And the two who found it are free to dispute the fact that it was easy, because it was not easy to find.
It was not easy to find.
There you go.
Do you know what we had to go through? I had to touch the dude's underwear. Do you want to touch a mobster's underwear?
Wait, these are pubes?
Why did we find hair in his underwear? He took it out of his underwear and stuck it in his wallet in the secret compartment. Ew.
All right. So what I'll do is, excuse me, I'll pull out a compass
Okay.
and change its cardinal north to tone in on the hair.
So we're doing a ritual.
Yes.
So you're determining your spell's effect in terms of stunts and conditions to determine prep difficulty and costs.
Correct. So the cost is going to be
the effect is you want a compass to point in the direction of whoever's hair this is.
Yes.
Okay.
The originator of the hair.
Okay.
Now, it's not going to give distance, but we should be able to at least find out they're within Greenville.
Okay. And let's see. So there are going to be costs, but you need to do a preparation action to determine who chooses how you must pay the costs. And this will be, for me, it will be against the person's stuff, which my number is this many's.
The number is...
So I got a target number for you, and we shall see what happens.
So the compass is actually it's from the 1800s from a.
Go ahead.
Mickey's like, "Where's this going?"
Where this is going is how much more painful it's going to be when it's destroyed.
Right?
Exactly. So it's an old naval compass from the USS Ironside.
Okay.
And not that really pertains to anything. It has historical value. It has value in and of itself.
Okay.
And I pull it from one of my safe houses. And this is the second safe house you guys have now seen.
Okay.
So
we're on a road trip right now, then.
yeah,
Okay.
a little bit.
Are we driving around in
Traveler's
Maura's
Rest.
Jeep?
We're going to
Because Maura
Traveler's
had
Rest.
a Jeep, right?
No, I have the pedo van.
Oh, so we're around. We're driving around in the mystery machine.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Scuba snacks.
And it's in the safe house is up in Traveler's Rest. And
Wow. So you guys have plenty of time to chat too. So feel free to talk about anything that's going on.
So what did you think of Slick?
Well, I want to know what what you guys think when he wants to talk to someone who's got more skin in the game, and who that would be.
Probably somebody who's involved in the underworld. I mean, to put it from Joe's perspective as the game master, you don't have any involvement in the underworld. So what would it matter to you if Atlanta took over Greenville?
But you're saying he wants to talk to Louis or someone in Louis?
Oh, he wants to talk to somebody. If you're somehow connected to this, but it's like you're an outsider. You're fringe. He wants to. If you really have interest here, show him.
Oh, he wants me to link him up with someone in.
With whatever contact you have. He was trying to get more info from you.
Your fringe. He wants trim.
He wants to get some trim. That was from 48 Hours, wasn't it? Some trim.
so the old timey compass.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, like, I don't get the cost thing yet.
Well, that's the thing. You don't know what the cost is until you actually
even
perform it.
like, preparing the spell. Like, I still don't understand. Like,
so say
what's
when this
acceptable?
comes off. Okay, the spell goes off. It works. And say the roll you have ends up as a fail, and I get to choose the costs.
okay,
There are things I could do, like say you're driving around in the mystery machine with the compass. It's going to break down.
okay,
Your van breaks down, or as you turn a corner, the compass goes crazy, or something. There will be a cost associated with it. If you roll well, you get to pick those costs, as long as I think there's still something that's worth paying. Then we move on from there. But there will always be a cost. Who
Okay.
determines what the cost is from your roll. How good your roll is allows the cost to be defined by you rather than me. Or both
so
of us,
name
I
the
guess.
effect. It's going to target the person where the hair originates.
Okay.
Describe the effect. It's going to, the closer we get to it, the more rigid the needle is. So the further away from the target, the needle will be somewhat lazy, kind of floating around, but still in a general direction. And the closer we get, the more rigid the needle becomes.
Okay.
Rigid.
Somebody had to.
Solid.
What's that?
I said someone had to.
It points
Mickey's going rigid.
What rigid? Okay.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I'm going to use focus
Yep. So let's go with that.
and roll.
And I have shared my number already.
Okay.
Roll those beautiful
And so I
dice.
have assistance from people for this ritual.
It's hard to
trying to think what-
assist.
I
How
don't
would we
know
assist?
how they would help with that. What teamwork could they offer?
Except for moral support.
Right.
You
And
can
that's-
do
I mean,
it.
that's
You can do
normally,
it,
but that's
Cletus.
normally with an action. Teamwork is with an action. In this case, you are performing your ritual. So unless the ritual magic says something about getting help, I would
Yeah, it
say
says helpers.
probably not.
Miscellaneous concerns on page 175.
Okay, go for it.
Helpers. Other characters may aid the caster of a ritual in two
Okay.
ways. Either providing a teamwork bonus of +1
There you
to the
go.
preparation roll, or volunteering to absorb one or more costs.
Okay, guys, how you want to handle it? If anyone wants to help, you can give them a +1. But teamwork says 1 or 2 allies can help. So 1 or 2 people can help. And I would say if costs come up, then you'll be paying costs, like we did with the aspects earlier and Bruce and the reverse search thing. So you guys pick how you want to do that. Whose character is ready to participate in a hairy ritual with Cletus?
Is there anything you can invoke from the huntsman, basically? I mean, you're hunting a prey with
I can help you
With a,
because we're under the. Sorry, keep going. While he's looking,
Got the
Presuming
sniff,
it's
you
the
got
same
the-
prey.
presuming
yes.
it's the same
the
prey, I
smell
could
of the the person.
bring in my pursuit.
So are you going to assume it's the same prey?
Well, that's the premise we're going with, right? It's blonde hair. We're thinking maybe it's Bruce's hair. Because why else, you know?
It might be Diana.
It could be
Who he was in
somebody
love with.
else.
Although, how long is his
No.
hair? Because we got the whole hair. Right? Was it
Yeah.
long? Was it short?
I don't know, 3 inches? That's long, right? I mean, that's super long. 3 inches is huge.
Huge.
All right, so
Especially when
Yeah, I
he's a
don't
grower
have
and
anything
not a
helps.
shower.
I have stuff that helps physically, like Coco Shadow.
I mean, all I can do, I gotta pray to God, but I don't know.
Yeah, you want to
He
use my,
doesn't always listen to me.
my pursuit.
but you're a tracker.
Which one?
You can invoke
You are
that.
a hunter. You
You're-
are a tracker.
Yeah.
Sure, I mean, if that helps.
It's
with
a
this ritual-
+1,
All right.
but think of how
You
you,
have
would
to
do
think
that.
about these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't
Like-
know that I would want to take a cost to help. I mean, I don't know. Sure, I'll help.
And
whatever.
and is Jamie actually ready to jump on board with some magic ritual? Because that's literally what this is.
Or do you still think it's a whole bunch of hocus pocus?
You've seen some stuff.
Yeah,
back
no,
then.
I mean, I believe in magic. I mean,
I've seen someone's
hung
hand
around with
cut
the
off.
Roll King. I mean, that shit's crazy. That dude parties like a rock star at magic time. Yeah, sure, I'll help.
So it sounds like you got +2.
Okay.
Plus whatever you got. Whatever you got is.
So net 0 on the dice.
Yeah.
So a 7.
7. Oh, you get a +2 for the ritual thing.
Correct.
All right. So you got +4, +3. I had a 4. So you're successing with style.
Oh yeah.
So here's the deal. Each person
nice.
that participated will have some cost, but you get to pick them. Individually, you can pick. And
All
it
right.
could be minor. Like, for example, cost, and I'm just giving you some things that I might think of. For a cost, you might be drained from this for a while. You get a -1 to roll.
Yeah,
for
I've
the
done
next
2
encounter
pretty
or
powerful
something.
rituals back to back.
Yeah. So I'm throwing these things out there that if you like the idea, you can take it. And if
Yeah,
you
no
just
more
make up
rituals for
something-
me for the rest of the week.
You're out of gas. No rituals for you.
Okay. And now, for those who participated, what do you think?
What
could be your
consequences?
price?
I'm supposed to make it up for them?
No, anyone can.
Oh.
Because the point is that I'm not going to.
Right.
Because you succeeded with style, players choose the costs.
So
And all I
we
have to do
have.
is agree
So this
with.
is a lasting condition. This is a tracking spell that is a lasting condition, which requires 3 costs.
Okay. And I was going with 3 anyway.
Okay.
Because I had 2 people. That wasn't the reason I picked 3. I picked 3 because 3 people participated. But it happens to fit, so that's good. But since you participated, since you gave him some teamwork, how did that ritual affect you? In a somewhat negative way.
Looking at these pages are wrong. There's actually a reference to choosing costs in the book.
Cool. Where do you find it in the
I did
the
a
table of
search
contents?
210, but it keeps sending me to 210, but I don't see it on 210.
How about I, for some reason, have a like debilitating Charlie horse in my right calf, so that I couldn't run.
So that would be a temporary aspect. It would be Charlie horse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Temporarily crippled by Charlie horse.
Yeah.
Like some physical draining of power.
Yeah.
That affects
You have the Charlie horse aspect. So when you were thinking about it, maybe from the hunt perspective, as a woodsman, as a hunter, you were thinking I could sprint after something, and maybe that thought pulled a muscle in your leg or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what would be better?
Yeah.
It would be a bigger cost. My eyesight is blurry.
I would treat it as temporary regardless. The idea would be that something I could use against you. That's what the cost
For the
would
rest
be.
of the day, my eyesight is significantly blurred.
Okay. That seems reasonable.
More
Trying
fun.
to see your target or whatever it may be. Sure. Eye strain. Mickie, for Mora.
I don't know. I really can't think of anything. Place an aspect of the
We don't want to be
character
too
or
bad, right?
seat.
Right.
Give
It just needs to be something that I can bring up to say, hey, there's something bad about you right now that might affect what's about to happen. That's really what it comes
So it doesn't
down
have to be anything like, oh, the person that owns his hair is aware that somebody's trying to search him.
No, it doesn't have to be. No. Now, if I was picking the cost, maybe, but I'm not. I'm just giving you guys suggestions.
You can also just choose to mark a stress box.
Yeah.
You could do that too. We've barely done that. Yeah, it would be okay to actually stress yourself out a little, technically.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that because I can't really think of anything else
Okay.
that would fit in with.
Okay, that works.
Ooh, how about
How about?
the cost is someone, my ex-boyfriend or something, has heard about the Monsters Network and is now on his way to Greenville, and he and I did not end on good terms.
I don't see that as a problem.
No?
Sure. You got an old flame coming in.
And it's going to be messy.
It might be. Yeah. We'll see how that works out. I don't mind that. That's okay.
Right. So Father Bartok gets off scot-free.
Because the way I see that is your cell phone's probably going to ring at an inopportune
Inopportune time.
Yeah.
Maura, where the heck are you?
Yeah.
Jesus, Frank, why the hell how'd you get this number? Jerk.
So compass. It's, I guess from where you are, it's pointing you to the east.
Okay.
And at this time, because of what the ritual is, the direction is all that really matters. You'll be traveling towards the east. All right.
So east from Traveler's Rest.
Sure. When it comes right down to it, the target of the spell, regardless of where it is, you're just being led in that direction.
So
I just want to give you a
are we
direction
wanting to
work
follow
with.
this tonight, or do we want to reconvene in the
That's
morning?
a good point. It's past 10 o'clock. You had your meeting at 7:18. You made it to a safe house. You've done a ritual. Past 10 o'clock at night. That should last. You figure it'll probably last till noon tomorrow, maybe longer. But it should be a pretty safe bet that it'll last for half a day.
Yeah, it's going to get weaker when the sun rises.
When the sun rises, it should end the ritual.
I say we
It'll
could,
depend over. This is one of those things that I look at it in the books. They kind of waver on that.
Yeah.
So if the thing, like if your target is in a safe place, then you still have a line to it, right?
You do. As long as the compass is also in a safe place.
Exactly. So it's probably going to give you more time than just sunup, but it's there. We're going to say half a day.
I'm fine with going after it tonight.
Right.
We don't have any sense for distance, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the needle is wavering like you think you're pretty far away.
Okay.
Because
So-
you had that as part of your thing.
I don't know exactly. I mean, it could be as far as Tennessee. It could be as far as California.
Right.
Well, it said
California
we're
to
going
the east.
We're going to the east.
Well, that's really far then. We're going to circumnavigate. The compass is only going to point in that one direction regardless. And eventually you'll get there. It didn't say the shortest route, just an actual route.
Yeah.
That's awesome. He's actually behind you 100 feet to the west, but the compass is pointing east.
It can only point
As
east.
long as you keep following it, you'll get there.
It can only point east.
80 days.
All the way around, sure. So you all agree that you're going to go that way tonight. You're going to follow that. Okay. So the most of the night you're traveling towards the east, and I'm going to say because of directions and stuff. And I know our map up here doesn't really get as far outside of Greenville, but essentially Essentially? Wow, I like that word. Essentially. That's the essence of sensuality. You're practically near Charlotte when the needle is rigid.
So like the Rock Hill.
There's something, towards that. And you get to one point, and it's like, so the needle was very specifically pointing to the east, rigid, full there. And then you get to a point where the needle just kind of goes limp and points north again. So you're probably in the right area. And you're in what is a recently developed neighborhood of like $300,000 houses.
Okay. So
it's a house farm.
Yeah, we'll drive around the neighborhood and see if we can't pinpoint which house it appears.
Okay.
While you guys do that, I'm going to jump on my smartphone on Zillow and see if there have been any houses purchased recently in this neighborhood.
Okay.
It's kind of smart.
Kind of smart.
That's not bad.
So you already got a replacement one from the one I destroyed yesterday.
Well, yeah, I've got kind of like a great plan with my phone company because I hang out with you so much. I know that I have the insurance, and
the
then
FedEx box shows up the next day.
Then I pay for the extra upgrades.
She's got a friend at Verizon or AT&T or something that keeps it under wraps. Mm-hmm. And the insurance company gets lots of money. So, in that neighborhood, from your Zillow search, there are more houses for sale than there are sold. So let's say there are 30 houses in the neighborhood. There's like 20 for sale. 5 are currently occupied. And there are another 5. So the other 5 then are people live there and have moved, but they're not for sale. So there's something going on there. The houses that are occupied, there are lights on and there are people home. You're there in the middle of the night. And I say lights on and people home as in there's a car in the driveway, a car in the garage, something like that. The kitchen light is on, that kind of thing. Not
porch lights on.
Probably 3 in the morning. People aren't walking around, but it's clear those places are lived in. 20 houses with signs on the front lawn that they're for sale. All 20 of them are being sold by Summers Realty.
The plot thickens.
So every house that is for sale has a Summers Realty sign in the yard. And those other 5 houses, according to Zillow, they were sold last year, and then sold again early this year. But there's nobody. There's no clear presence in them. There's no curtains hanging. They're just call it abandoned. So like they were resold recently in the last 6 months or so. But nobody is there now.
Sounds like we bumped into could potentially be some money laundering for a criminal syndicate to buy and resell those assets.
And just to make it clear, in case there's any question here, you're still in South Carolina. You're not in North Carolina right now. Just want to throw that out there. Just you haven't crossed the border, but
okay.
I would say you're still officially in the upstate of South Carolina. You're just closer to Charlotte than you are to Greenville.
So we're Rock Hill.
Like Fort Mill, Rock Hill.
Essentially,
Fort Mill,
yeah. And I didn't pick a specific city. The
There's
important part was the neighborhood
There's
itself.
tons of new neighborhoods in Fort Mill now. It's blowing up.
The reason I didn't pick something specific is because if I had, I would want to know that there actually is a house farm there.
Oh,
that
Fort
all
Mill,
this
you
was
can't
true. Right.
go anywhere without it.
And if you can think of an actual neighborhood that looks decent from a satellite view, we'll use that one.
Okay.
But in the meantime, the one we're in is houses where, every house is, over 3,000 square feet and big, not necessarily a big yard, but half an acre, maybe a little bit more. And they're all like $300,000 houses. Any one of them that is for sale, being sold by the same company, etc. Yeah. So within that, the neighborhood itself is it's only one entrance. So there's one entrance. It's like a cul-de-sac, and then back out, maybe one other street inside. So it's not there aren't multiple exits.
Okay.
And it's gated, but the gate was open.
Gotta talk to this HOA.
So I'm gonna park the
mystery machine,
the pedo van at the clubhouse,
okay.
And we're gonna walk in because pedo van in this neighborhood probably not gonna.
That's a good call.
So instead of clubhouse, let's just say it's like the the model home.
Yeah,
the model home at the front, because this doesn't have a community spot in this neighborhood. But there is a model home at the front, and yeah, you could park there. Yeah.
So we'll hoof in.
Yeah, go for it.
Is this, you said it's all recent development.
This whole neighborhood is recent enough that there isn't a tree more than 2 or 3 years old.
So
in
is
the
there
entire
any
neighborhood.
construction materials left over?
No.
Okay.
Everything was built within the last couple of years, and they would clean up immediately because of the type of neighborhood. Okay. So we parked, Kurt, the van was parked at the model home near the entrance, and you guys are exploring at this point. And the whole place is relatively new. There probably isn't a house there older than maybe... The model home itself is probably less than 4 years old. And that would have been one of the first ones built.
So do we think that this might be a safe house for Slick?
Possibly.
Because this is pretty far removed from Atlanta.
Well, it's not for Slick. I mean, it's following blonde hair, so I'm assuming it's
Why
Bruce.
Why would he have the blonde hair?
Exactly.
One reason to connect it to Slick, and I did it deliberately, is they're all for sale from his real estate agency.
Yeah, but he has the blonde hair, so who's the blonde hair owner? Is it Bruce or is it somebody else?
Well,
If it's Bruce, does he know what Bruce is? And this is just like just in case I got some hair for whatever reason.
So I'm going to do some evocation here, and I'm going to bail myself, and then do the peeping Tom routine.
So you're going to go look in windows.
Yep.
Okay.
But
Who else? I just want to see if anyone else has a plan.
I kind of want to see which house the compass is pointing to.
Yeah.
Pinpoint
It kind of gave out at the neighborhood.
Okay.
It got you there.
Gotcha.
Newer neighborhood, right?
Yep.
Is it a
Every
finished
house
neighborhood
is
or are they
less
still
than 4
building
years
houses?
old. Say
So
that
it's a
again?
finished neighborhood or are they still building houses?
All done.
Okay.
Yeah. All the lawns are full in green, and any trees that are there are well kept, but nothing over a couple years old.
I'm just curious. My trouble on my character sheet is modernity equals ruin, development equals unhappiness.
You probably wouldn't like this area.
I really hate neighborhoods like this. So I just mentioned that. I don't know how the trouble comes in terms of gameplay, if at all. But I
invoke it,
Yeah.
or I compel it. I make you upset
Yeah,
for,
this is
for
like
that reason.
the third level of hell for gaming.
And this is like 3 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yeah, you guys are there in this, $300,000 neighborhood at 3 in the morning in a pedophile van, going to peep into windows.
I'm going to take out headphones
Perfect.
and put them in and pretend to be like power walking through the neighborhood and just kind of scope the place out.
At 3 in the morning, sure.
Yeah, why not?
Do you have a reflective vest to wear?
No.
Okay.
I'm a bored housewife. I couldn't sleep. The Ambien kicked out, and I'm out for a walk to see if I can get tired.
Anybody else?
I mean, I have Cloak of Shadows, and I can see perfectly in the dark. So if there's something we need to scope out, I'm going to be able to see it pretty easily.
I think you might be able to do better than I can then. I was going to throw a veil up and use that to keep me quiet, but...
Yeah, I can't really hide or see in the dark, so...
Well, then let's start with Jamie.
Yeah, I also want, Cloak of Shadows once per session. I can automatically hide from non-magical attempts to spot me. So
Okay.
there's not a particular attempt now, but I think that would allow me to basically go stealthy now.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking in a window and you see somebody moving, you're hidden, right? And they wouldn't spot you, so that makes sense. All right, let's start with that. So there are 5 houses that clearly have somebody living there. We'll just go up to the first one. Inside, you're going to knock.
Hello, little girl.
The Girl Scout cookies. Avon, land shark, sand shark. We have right inside the front. You go up to the front door and you look in the glass on the sides of the front door. You can see right in. And right inside that door is a coat rack. And on the coat rack is a jacket that has a Pinkerton security badge on the shoulder of the jacket.
In the first house?
In the first house, yeah. And it cut to the quick of all of it. Each house has a Pinkerton security jacket somewhere inside that you'll be able
That's
to
what
see.
I was
This is
gonna say.
definitely a
Just
safe
to,
house.
just to make it quick.
This is where they keep
Yeah.
the goons.
Yeah.
This is where they...
Wait, is this where
it's
they
not where they keep the
live?
goons.
or
This is where someone's being protected.
So I'll go back 30 houses, 20 of which have for sale signs, 5 of which look like they are abandoned, no drapes, no nothing, and then 5 that clearly have somebody in them. The 5 that clearly have somebody in them all have some reference to Pinkerton security, a badge sitting on the coffee table inside, a jacket hanging up. Okay, so there's consistency there. Now, there will be more stuff, but I want to cut to that quick so that we know.
I'm wondering, is this where those guards live, or are they guarding people in these houses?
That's a good question.
You guys like
Could be both.
Copland or something?
Right.
Yeah, a bunch
Yeah,
of
I mean,
guys living here. Or
So that's just a
Looking in the garage, take a peek in the garage, you see they're all average cars, Toyota Camry, whatever. They're not rich people cars. So it looks like these houses are lived in by people that are below the means of someone who should be living in these houses. So there's people who are making $60,000 a year living in a $300,000 house. And it looks, by all appearances, each one has one person in it. It's not like next to the Pinkerton jacket is a fur jacket from his wife
Gotcha.
and kids' galoshes on the floor or anything. It looks
Right.
like there's one person in each house.
So each one of the guards has had his personality carved out, gets a house to live in.
Wouldn't
in
that
this
be a
weird neighborhood.
sweet gig? I don't have to know who I am anymore, and I get a nice house. Huh.
still driving my shitty car though, but whatever.
Hey, don't you have a Honda Accord?
I know. You know.
Should we set up shop in one of the empty houses? Wow, what the hell
Oh,
is that?
I think the sound. Give it a second, and we'll be back in just
that better?
a few seconds. Hey, we're back.
There we go.
Okay, yeah,
Should
it wasn't
we
you this time.
Finally. Should
Yeah.
we set up shop in one of the empty houses to just kind of scope out the neighborhood?
Stakeout squads.
Yeah.
Yeah, see when
Yeah.
they come back,
See
or
when they come back,
leave, or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I'll get rid
Dennis,
of
what do you
the
think?
pedo van and
Well, if you guys break into the house, you can just put it in the garage.
Yeah. That's the plan.
If that's what you meant by get rid of.
yeah.
Yeah. Just do it.
Park it
Just
in the
to conceal.
garage.
Yeah. You could put a veil over it to make it look like a Camry.
or make it look empty.
Yeah. Even better.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys want to set up shop in one of the houses?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Get some sleep
In the
too. 'cause
village of
it's
the
pretty
damned.
late.
Close to or further away from the occupied houses. You kind of have that option. There are 5 that are, let's call them, they're in different spots around the neighborhood.
I would say something has a good
Now,
vantage point.
I do want to check all the for sale houses. Do they have the realtor lock boxes on the outside?
Let's say this is a high-tech neighborhood and they're all computerized door entries. So you probably just need the code.
Okay, so I can just kind of go blip and blow
And
up
screw them all up.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I mean, we could explore that, but
He rubs his butt
probably.
on 'em.
Oh yeah, that's he disables keyless entries by rubbing his butt on them.
Yep.
At least
Just
he's not teabagging.
Crapped up the works.
I would think we would want to get a house between the 5 and the entrance, the model home,
Okay.
where we can see them all with
Okay.
a vantage point like this.
And that can happen. So, and I don't know if I'd said it either, but all 5 of the occupied ones are next to each other. They're not spread apart. They're all next to each other. They're in a row on the street. So yeah.
so
you can
while
go in
this is all
between.
happening,
Yeah.
Kurt, I need you to be the Overwatch and make sure we're not being observed.
Take the high ground.
Make sure that
Nice.
they're not observing us.
I love
moving
Overwatch.
Yeah.
I'll just be in the Overwatch. Overwatch.
He made up for it. Thanks, JJ. Okay, so we're going to finish this episode with you guys setting up in the house. I'm curious, just as a I don't know, logistics thing. How do you guys plan on eating, sleeping overnight?
No,
get
Domino's
some-
delivers, baby.
We're going to get some groceries and just fill the fridge
Well,
up right
Gotta
this
get
is part of my
groceries.
point. The more time you spend going in and out, the more you'll be observed. I
Exactly.
want to get an
It's
idea.
still late. We'll go grab a bunch of stuff now. And
Yeah?
Let's go to Super Walmart, stack up,
Nice.
head back.
Jimmy's all about the intermittent fasting. He's not going to eat till lunch tomorrow.
And this group of people wouldn't be odd at 4 in the morning in a Walmart, would they?
Nope.
No.
I definitely
Fit
gotta
right
eat.
in. Be awesome.
Supplies.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it as you guys grab whatever supplies you need quick, and before the sun comes up, you're ready to take a nap. Somebody's going to take a watch, keep an eye on what's going on, and that's where we will pick up on our next episode.
Yay.
You know, I just realized
Yeah,
I have a wife and kids.
yeah, and
What's your point?
I, you know,
You call
sorry,
home.
hon, I'm gonna do a stakeout. You're a school resource officer. I thought you were done with this shit.
So we have a new avenue to explore. There are more costs for Cletus coming up. That's great.
I think we'll use the Palisades neighborhood in Lake Wiley because it's
Okay.
pretty big and there's
enough for
different
you.
kinds of neighbors with different housing plans.
Okay.
And it's like kind of weird already. Like
It's weird
It has
already?
to me it's like Village of the Damned weirdness like going on over here.
So we'll have a village of the underworld damned,
Yeah.
as it were. And we'll wrap up this episode for now. We can all say
Bye, everyone.
Au revoir, mes amis.
Ooh. How do you say penis in French?
Penis.
The preceding podcast was brought to you by One Joe Young. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.